Puberty. It's awkward, dramatic, and life-changing, not just for humans, but for animals too. What animals go through during puberty will leave you speechless. So get ready, because what animals do during puberty will blow your mind. Let's dive into the wildest puberty secrets in the animal kingdom. When a cat hits puberty, everything changes. Her meows get louder, her curiosity sharper, and her mood swings wild. One moment she's cuddling, and the next, she's pouncing on thin air. 1 in 2 people actually know this about cats. Puberty in lions? It's epic. Their roar drops deep, their mane begins to grow, and they suddenly walk like royalty. Only 1 in 4 people know what a teenage lion sounds like. When puberty hits a deer, antlers start rising like nature's crown. Suddenly, they're not just gentle grotzers. They begin sporing, testing their strength. 1 in 6 knew this secret of the woods. Here's a mind blower. Some male clownfish turn female during puberty. Yup, nature literally rewrites their biology. Only 1 in 8 people knew this underwater twist. Gorilla puberty means one thing: silverbacks. As males mature, that famous silver strip appears down their back, a natural badge of dominance. 1 in 9 people ever hear about this change. Teenage dogs? Oh, they get moody too. Puberty brings howling, marking, and that wild burst of energy. 1 in 12 dog lovers actually know what their pup goes through. When a tiger hits puberty, its stealth sharpens and its independence roars. Suddenly, the playful cub becomes a silent hunter. 1 in 13 know this wild transformation. Puberty in wolves turns a follower into a future alpha. They find their howl, learn the rules of the pack, and begin climbing the social ladder. Only 1 in 17 knew how wolves rise. Bear cubs hit puberty and start bulking up, roaming farther, and preparing for life alone. It's a slow, silent shift into power. Just 1 in 23 people knew this journey begins so early. Cows don't just grow. Puberty brings their first moves of maturity and a total shift in behavior. It's the quiet beginning of a lifelong rhythm. Only 1 in 25 people knew cows had such a puberty phase. When a young horse hits puberty, it's not just about galloping faster. Their behavior shifts. They challenge the herd hierarchy, and their calls get louder. Only 1 in 27 people knew what teenage horses are really like. In puberty, male elephants go through must, a wild phase of surging testosterone, aggression, and non-stop energy. It's intense. 1 in 33 people know how stormy elephant teen years can be. Chimpanzees going through puberty start acting rebellious, testing adults, showing off, and trying to climb the social ladder. Sounds familiar, right? Only 1 in 41 new chimps had teen drama too. Puberty in male orangutans can take years, but when it hits, their faces develop huge cheek pads, and their calls boom across the jungle. Only 1 in 59 people knew about this wild glow up. Teenage dolphins love showing off. During puberty, they form tight friend groups, flirt, and perform acrobatics just to impress. Only 1 in 63 people know dolphins go through a social phase like this. When whales hit puberty, they start learning long, complex songs, and it's all about finding a mate. Their voice becomes their identity. Only 1 in 78 people know puberty makes whales start singing. Puberty turns bats into night rebels. They change their echolocation sounds, fly further, and start finding their own roosts. Only 1 in 83 people knew bats have a vocal teenage phase. Kangaroo puberty means bouncing further, fighting harder, and suddenly wanting to box. Literally, males practice combat to prove they're grown. Only 1 in 104 new kangaroo teens are little warriors. Koalas might look cuddly, but puberty brings deep bellows, territorial moods, and treetop drama. Only 1 in 119 people knew these softies go full beast mode during puberty. Wombats grow up underground, literally. During puberty, they start digging deeper burrows and marking territory with cube-shaped poop. Yes, cube. Only 1 in 238 people know wombat puberty is that weird. Pandas don't just eat bamboo. Puberty turns them into moody loners with new calls and awkward mating dances. Only 1 in 395 people knew panda puberty is a total pandemonium. When foxes hit puberty, they start howling and screaming, literally. Their mating calls sound haunting in the night, echoing through the wild. Only 1 in 683 people knew puberty makes foxes this dramatic. Puberty in hyenas flips the script. Females become more dominant than males, and their anatomy gets confusing. Only 1 in 832 knew just how bizarre hyena puberty really is. Rabbit puberty means turbocharged energy and constant marking. Suddenly your sweet bunny is boxing, spraying, and acting like a rebel. Only 1 in 874 knew what rabbit teens are really like. When a hedgehog goes through puberty, it starts to grunt, squeak, and mark its scent, becoming surprisingly feisty for such a shy little creature. Only 1 in 971 new hedgehogs get moody too. Teen otters become social whirlwinds, wrestling non-stop, squeaking to flirt, and even showing off rocks as gifts. Only 1 in 1,000 people knew otter puberty includes love language. When puberty hits, young beavers leave their families behind to start dam building alone. It's emotional and brave, nature's version of moving out. Only 1 in 2,000 people knew this silent rite of passage. Skunk puberty means one thing: scent overload. As they mature, their spray gets stronger, and they use it more often, not just for defense, but for flirting too. Only 1 in 3,000 knew puberty makes skunks smellier and sassier. Puberty in raccoons turns them into night ninjas, sneaky, stubborn, and suddenly solo. They leave the family nest and start plotting their own trash raids. Only 1 in 4,000 new raccoons go rogue during puberty. When a moose hits puberty, massive antlers begin to grow fast. They practice sporing and become more solitary, preparing for life as a forest giant. Only 1 in 5,000 people knew puberty turns moose into lone warriors. Teenage roosters start crowing at dawn and battling each other for dominance, while hens begin laying eggs for the first time. Only 1 in 6,000 people knew puberty brings chaos to the co-op. When puberty hits a male peacock, he suddenly bursts with color. Those iconic feathers grow in, and he starts dancing to impress. Only 1 in 8,000 new peacocks glow up like this just for love. When ducks go through puberty, their voices change, literally. Males lose their quack and start whisper quacking while their feathers dull. Only 1 in 9,000 new puberty steals the duck's voice. Puberty turns a young swan from a scruffy gray cygnet into a graceful white beauty. It's a real-life glow-up. Only 1 in 10,000 knew the ugly duckling story is biologically true for swans. Puberty in eagles takes years. Their beaks and eyes change color, their scream gets louder, and their flight becomes sharper. Only 1 in 11,000 knew it takes patience to become an apex teen predator. When owls hit puberty, their feathers thicken for silent flight, and they start calling in haunting new tones to attract a mate. Only 1 in 12,000 people knew owls get their spooky voice during puberty. Puberty in penguins means losing their soft, downy fluff, growing adult waterproof feathers, and learning to flirt with pebbles. Only 1 in 13,000 new penguin teens are awkward and romantic. Young flamingos are gray, but puberty kicks in a pink explosion. Their diet turns them into bright show-offs ready to dance. Only 1 in 15,000 people knew flamingo teens literally blush into beauty. Parrots going through puberty start mimicking voices more accurately, testing boundaries, and acting rebellious, just like human teens. Only 1 in 17,000 knew puberty gives parrots personality overload. A young hawk's puberty means honing in on prey, growing sharper talons, and perfecting the dive. Teen years are all about becoming deadly. Only 1 in 19,000 knew hawk puberty is survival boot camp. Teen pigeons start cooing more, strutting around, and even puffing their chests to show off. It's all about love and dominance. Only 1 in 22,000 people knew pigeons get flirty during puberty. When puberty hits, male turkeys grow wattles, gobble deeper, and start strutting in full fan mode to impress females. Only 1 in 23,000 people knew turkey puberty turns them into feathered showboats. Puberty gives crows stronger voices, more attitude, and a thirst for puzzles. They get smarter, louder, and sneakier. Only 1 in 25,000 people knew crow puberty unlocks super intelligence. Teen woodpeckers begin hammering trees non-stop, not just to drill, but to say, "I'm here, I'm loud, and I'm ready to mate." Only 1 in 28,000 knew puberty makes woodpeckers rock stars of the forest. Puberty turns hummingbirds into tiny jets. Males grow shimmering throat feathers and start high-speed dives just to impress. Only 1 in 30,000 people knew puberty makes hummingbirds aerial show-offs. When puberty hits a croc, their jaws grow stronger, their tempers sharper, and they start booming low rumbles to attract mates. Only 1 in 32,000 new crocodile teens get loud and lethal. Alligator puberty is all about bass. Males develop deep bellows that shake the water, and that's how they show power. Only 1 in 35,000 people knew puberty gives alligators subwoofer voices. Puberty in Komodo dragons is when they go solo, suddenly aggressive, venomous, and territorial. Childhood's over. Only 1 in 36,000 knew puberty creates monsters of the island. When an iguana hits puberty, it changes color, develops big cheeks, and starts head bobbing to show dominance. Only 1 in 37,000 people knew iguana teens become fashion-forward flexers. Puberty transforms anacondas into solitary giants. Males slither for miles to find a mate, while females grow way bigger. Only 1 in 38,000 knew puberty turns anacondas into silent love seekers. Tadpole the frog is just the beginning. Puberty hits when frogs grow vocal sacs and start croaking like rock stars. Only 1 in 40,000 new frog teens literally find their voice. Some salamanders stay forever young, but those who go through puberty grow lungs and leave the water behind. Only 1 in 41,000 knew puberty gives salamanders a whole new world. Puberty in chameleons means brighter colors and wild mood swings. Their skin literally broadcasts how they feel. Only 1 in 43,000 people knew puberty gives chameleons emotional LED skin. When geckos go through puberty, they start vocalizing with squeaks and clicks, plus get territorial and flirty. Only 1 in 44,000 people knew gecko teens get chatty and confident. Puberty in turtles is all about patience. Their shells get harder, their colors darken, and they start doing slow-motion mating dances. Only 1 in 45,000 new turtle teens have their own love language. Shark puberty kicks in with power. They grow claspers, start hunting solo, and develop keen instincts. Only 1 in 46,000 knew puberty turns sharks into ocean predators for real. Goldfish don't just grow bigger during puberty. Males develop white breeding stars on their gills and start chasing females. Only 1 in 47,000 new goldfish become tiny torpedoes of love. Puberty turns bettas from shy swimmers into feisty fighters. They build bubble nests and flare fins like royalty. Only 1 in 48,000 people knew puberty gives betta fish a warrior makeover. Male anglerfish hit puberty by shrinking their lives. They fuse into females, becoming permanent sperm donors. Only 1 in 49,000 new anglerfish teens literally give up their identity for love. When salmon hit puberty, they stop eating, change color, and swim upstream against death itself to mate. Only 1 in 50,000 knew puberty in salmon is an epic final mission. Puberty in goats means wild scent glands, lots of headbutting, and loud bleats. It's a full barnyard rebellion. Only 1 in 51,000 people knew goat teens are rowdy, smelly, and proud. Puberty sharpens a piranha's teeth, darkens its body, and dials up its aggression. They start biting with purpose. Only 1 in 52,000 people knew puberty turns piranhas into pack hunters. Eels go through a dramatic puberty. Their bodies change for deep sea migration, and they never return. Only 1 in 53,000 people knew puberty is a one-way journey for eels. Puberty in swordfish makes their bills grow longer and sharper. They turn into sleek, high-speed predators. Only 1 in 54,000 knew puberty gives swordfish their legendary weapon. Guppy puberty adds wild color, flashy tails, and non-stop flirting. They're tiny, flashy, and full of drama. Only 1 in 56,000 new guppy teens are the divas of the aquarium. From caterpillar to butterfly, the real puberty starts after the cocoon, finding mates, showing colors, and dancing midair. Only 1 in 57,000 people knew butterflies find freedom and love at once. Bee puberty means choosing a role. Some become soldiers, others nurses, but one lucky teen becomes the queen. Only 1 in 58,000 people knew bee puberty is a royal competition. Ants hit puberty by taking flight. Only then do they mate, shed their wings, and start building colonies. Only 1 in 60,000 people knew puberty launches ants into a one-time love mission. When spiders hit puberty, males risk everything. They mature, weave silk sperm webs, and go mate hunting, often becoming dinner. Only 1 in 62,000 knew puberty in spiders can be a death sentence. Crabs go through puberty by molting their entire shell, vulnerable, soft, and hiding until they harden up into full-grown warriors. Only 1 in 65,000 knew crab puberty means shedding their whole armor. Lobster teens molt up to 25 times before reaching adulthood, growing claws, getting bold, and starting territorial fights. Only 1 in 67,000 people knew lobster puberty is a non-stop battle to level up. Octopus puberty unlocks genius and heartbreak. Males grow a special mating arm, use it once, then die soon after. Only 1 in 70,000 knew puberty is a final mission for octopuses. Scorpions hit puberty with a glow, literally. Their exoskeleton hardens, and they start glowing under UV light while courting mates. Only 1 in 71,000 knew scorpion puberty comes with a glow up. Moth puberty isn't just wings, it's about scent. Males grow feathered antennae to track pheromones from miles away. Only 1 in 74,000 people knew puberty turns moths into airborne love seekers. Jellyfish puberty is a wild phase shift from blob-like polyp to full-grown stinger. They transform in a blink. Only 1 in 78,000 knew jellyfish switch life forms when puberty hits. Zebra teens grow bold during puberty. They leave the herd, fight rivals, and begin the journey to lead their own group. Only 1 in 80,000 people knew puberty makes zebra teens lone challengers. Puberty in gazelles turns speed into survival. Males start growing horns, sparring, and sprinting for dominance. Only 1 in 81,000 knew puberty turns gazelles into graceful warriors. Young bison don't just grow big. Puberty hits with grunts, battles, and a whole lot of head crashing. Only 1 in 82,000 new bison teens are born to brawl for the herd. Rhino puberty comes slow but strong. Testosterone skyrockets, behavior shifts, and they become solo tanks of the wild. Only 1 in 83,000 new puberty turns rhinos into lonely giants of power. When a hippo hits puberty, the river becomes a battleground. Males roar louder, fight harder, and mark their turf with poop sprays. Only 1 in 84,000 people knew hippo puberty gets gross and aggressive. When sloths hit puberty, their scent glands go into overdrive. Males grow a stripe that leaks oil to attract mates, all while still moving, painfully slow. Only 1 in 85,000 knew puberty turns sloths into stinky heartthrobs. Porcupine puberty brings a wild twist. Males spray females with urine to impress them. Romantic? Maybe not. Effective? Surprisingly, yes. Only 1 in 87,000 knew puberty turns porcupines into pea-flinging flirts. When tapirs hit puberty, their noses grow into mini trunks and their scent marking begins. These jungle teens get weirdly good at sniff and show courtship. Only 1 in 88,000 new puberty gives tapirs a nosy love life. Armadillo puberty brings out the armor, literally. As they mature, they harden their shell plates and get way more territorial. Only 1 in 89,000 people new puberty gives armadillos the confidence to roll into battle. In meerkat society, puberty flips the script. Teens are kicked out of the group to avoid inbreeding, forcing them to start their own colony. Only 1 in 90,000 new meerkat puberty leads to exile and independence. Lemurs hitting puberty expect stink fights. Males rub scent glands on tails and wave them at rivals, literally fighting with funk. Only 1 in 93,000 new puberty in lemurs comes with stink battles. Puberty in pelicans comes with color drama. Their bills and pouches flash bright shades to attract a mate during breeding season. Only 1 in 95,000 people new pelicans get a puberty glow up on their face. When puberty hits anteaters, their claws grow massive and their sense of smell becomes 40 times stronger than humans. Only 1 in 97,000 new puberty turns anteaters into stealthy sniffers with giant weapons. Ferrets going through puberty become musky and aggressive. Males produce strong odors and start wrestling with rivals for dominance. Only 1 in 99,000 new ferret puberty smells as wild as it sounds. When male red-tailed black cockatoos hit puberty, they begin serenading mates with soft songs and gifts of wood shavings. Only 1 in 101,000 new puberty makes these birds romantic wood carving suitors. Puberty in narwhals? That's when the legendary tusk begins to grow, not just for show, but to sense changes in the ocean. Only 1 in 122,000 new puberty gives narwhals their mythical unicorn horn of the sea. When walruses mature, they bulk up massively and grow tusks that define their social rank. Mating season becomes a bellowing, battling event. Only 1 in 148,000 new puberty turns walruses into tusk gladiators. When sea lions hit puberty, males turn into beach bullies. Their necks thicken, their roars deepen, and they battle to rule harems of females. Only 1 in 291,000 new sea lion puberty turns them into loud, love-hungry kings of the coast. Puberty in seals means serious singing skills, especially for some species. Males develop underwater vocal talents to impress females. Only 1 in 379,000 new seal puberty includes mastering the art of aquatic serenades. Puberty hits Tasmanian devils hard. They become hyper-aggressive, scream in the night, and fight viciously for mates. Only 1 in 436,000 new puberty turns Tasmanian devils into little growling monsters. Teenage geese hit puberty with attitude, becoming territorial, loud, and fiercely loyal. Pair bonding begins early. Only 1 in 589,000 new puberty makes geese aggressive, love-struck warriors with wings. Coyote puberty, it's all about voice. Young males start howling to announce territory and to flirt. Only 1 in 627,000 new puberty makes coyotes howl like heartbreakers under the moonlight. When tortoises hit puberty, they grunt during mating and develop longer tails. Yes, even the quietest creatures have noisy teenage years. Only 1 in 784,000 new puberty gives tortoises a voice and a tail upgrade. Male pufferfish hit puberty and suddenly turn into artists, crafting hypnotic underwater sand circles to attract mates. Only 1 in 811,000 new puberty turns pufferfish into oceanic Picassos. Puberty in sugar gliders brings out their scent glands. Males get bald spots on their heads, where they mark territory and mates. Only 1 in a million new puberty gives sugar gliders a hairless crown of love. If you learned even one thing that blew your mind, hit that like button. And if you're ready to uncover more secrets of the animal kingdom, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell, because this is just the beginning. Thanks for watching, and stay curious.